man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? I'm so glad to see everybody. Um, Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late, but I am me, and that's how I roll apparently. So I had said last week, okay, I got some explaining to do for y'all because at the end of my show last week, I told you that I was going to cover the 1996 Olympic bombing this week. That's not happening. But it's not from lack of effort on my part. It's because of extra effort on my part. I found out that Eric Rudolph, who is the guy who did the Olympic bombing, spoiler, I forgot to give you guys a spoiler alert, but you have Google, so whatever, wrote a book. I'm right now, actually, it's free online, and I'm on what page am I on? Page number I am 60 pages into a 240-page book right now, and I want to finish reading this book before I do the episode on that. So I hope you'll forgive me. We're doing another Crimeland episode, but I think and I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when I do an overruled episode, I would rather do fewer overruled episodes and put as much time as I need into those overruled episodes. Do you see what I mean? So instead of just rushing to get something out, I want to put the time and effort needed to tell the whole story correctly. And I'm telling you what, this book, like I said, I'm like 60 pages in right now. It's pretty good. I am getting the same sort of vibes as did you guys ever read the Unabomber manifesto where it's like he's got some good ideas. I don't agree with the tactics. Obviously, I don't agree with the tactics, but not all his ideas are bad. So I want to read the whole thing and then put together an episode covering it from the way, like, this is the way he sees things instead of just how the media is telling the story. So we'll get that to you. It's not going to be next week either, by the way, because I'm going to Nashville next week. I'm going to be out of town next week. So I'll still hit the live button at 4:30 Eastern on Sunday. I'll definitely still do that, but it might be from Nashville or the car, or who knows. Who knows where I'll be at 4:30 Eastern next weekend. I know that we have to check out of the Airbnb Sunday morning sometime. So I'm not sure where I'll be at that point. But hopefully you forgive me. We're doing another Crimeland episode, and let's jump into it. Zena's here, by the way. Zena, say hello. We'll start her off with a treat to get the ball rolling. Hey, Zena. Could you wake up for like 2 seconds? Yeah. There you go. Give her a little cookie. She can't find it. There she is. And Quest Fanning coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Quest Fanning. Let's throw that up on the screen and we'll give Zena another cookie. Good afternoon from the Fannings of Brooklyn. I love Clint Eastwood directing, specifically the Richard Jewell film. Yes, that was a very good movie. I'm not sure how accurate it was. I thought it was accurate, right? There's some stuff that's not. It's pretty accurate. It is a Clint Eastwood film after all, so it's pretty accurate. But of course, I'm finding things that are not exactly correct with it. But this is where I thought the story stopped. This is why we're going to have to wait a couple weeks to talk about the Olympic bombing because, I had seen the Richard Jewell movie. I was at the Olympics when this happened. I wasn't at the venue when the bomb went off, but I was at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. I didn't live here at the time. I still lived in Chicago, but we came down here and we went to Olympics, like the Olympic events. We were in that park where the bomb went off like 2 days before. So I was thinking, oh, the Richard Jewell movie, I can get this story out. The Jude gets, anyway. Then I started looking into the real bomber, and his story runs deep, man. It's crazy. So, all right, Zena, this is from Quest Fanning. Here you go. Thank you, Quest. Okay, now let's jump into it. First story. Florida man. Nope, Florida woman. Couldn't tell by the hairstyle. Sorry. Florida baby run over mother charged after crash caught on camera. Let's see what happened here.
Take a look. This is a booking photo just released from the Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd. All of this connected along
it's a Grady Judd. You guys, I love that you send me Grady. I had no idea that this was a Grady Judd one, but I love that you send me Grady Judd stuff. This sounds familiar, though. Did we watch this? Have we watched this one before on here? I consume a lot of crime content. Have we watched this specific video before? I'm going to let it play. Let me know.
With this video to a situation where a mother is accused of running over her child. I do want to play for you a 3-minute comment that was made by Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, again speaking about all of this.
I think maybe we watched that video before. I just hadn't seen the Grady Judd portion of it. So I think maybe that's it. I remember the guy running across and me pausing to say, oh my gosh, you see her run him over? But I don't remember what Grady Judd said about it. So maybe we did not watch the Grady Judd portion of it.
Make this stuff up. It's got to be true. This is Aaliyah Ross. She's 27. She and her husband, Devin, get into an argument in their house. And Devin goes outside, allegedly to calm down. But while he's in the process of calming down, he throws a cinder block onto her vehicle. Well, that makes her mad. Did I mention to you that when Devin went outside, he took his 16-month-old son, well, actually their 16-month-old son, outside? Well, when the cinder block went onto the car, it made Aaliyah even madder. So she got into the car and she lunged forward in the car like she was going to run over him. Now, he's holding the 16-month-old baby. Well, she said, I guess he didn't get out of the way, so she lunged again and ran over Devin and her 16-month-old baby. Did you hear what I said? She ran over her boyfriend and their baby. Like bump, 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 run over them, okay?
I do remember that. I remember that comment right there, the bump, bump, bump. We have something. We're already halfway through, so I'm going to play it for anybody who wasn't there when we watched it, whenever we watched it before.
She runs the car into a neighbor's house, which is supposed to be some kind of relative. She leaves with the baby. She's injured. Devin is on his way to the hospital, calls her and says, you've got to take the baby to the hospital. She said, no, I'm going to leave him at the house. So she drives back to the house and puts the child in the house by himself. And then she takes off again. Devin goes back to the house, picks the baby up, and they both go to the hospital. Listen to me. The baby is in critical condition this morning in the hospital in Tampa. And after she runs over her baby,
I'm mad all over again. I'm furious all over again. I do remember hearing about this story, and we must have been on air. You people. When I say you people, I'm talking about you people. I remember this now, and I'm getting furious all over again. The kid was in critical condition, and she tried to leave him in the house by himself. Why? Do you? Here's what I don't understand. How come people like this, who obviously don't want their children, do not give their children up for adoption? Why? Why make this child suffer? 16 months old. Like, bring the baby here. I will raise the child. I'm fine with that.
After she leaves with him, she brings him back to the house and leaves him alone and him in critical condition at 16 months old. And then she takes off again. So obviously, we're not impressed with her conduct. She's clearly violated all kinds of laws of the state of Florida. So we track her down in Orlando.
Laws of the state, laws of God is the laws that she violated, not just the state of Florida. She left this baby alone. Like, she tried to murder somebody and her baby, and then left the critically injured baby alone in the house. So I do care about the laws of Florida, Sheriff Judd. But just morally speaking, how on earth?
Our colleagues from the Orange County Sheriff's Office helped us by taking her into custody until we could get there and interview her. She's locked up on too many charges to talk about in this short video. You talking about crazy? Here's a crazy woman.
Yeah.
And that was.
Thank you, Sheriff Judd. I appreciate your time. All right. That story was crazy. I'm kind of glad we covered it twice, actually. I don't know what my reaction was the first time, but I'm equally as upset, if not more upset, right now. I can tell you that much for sure. He literally stole from a child to pay for killing his own child. Middle school principal killed teacher pregnant with his child. Okay, let's get into it. Excuse me. A 42-year-old former middle school principal in Missouri, or Missouri, if you're from Missouri, I think that's how you pronounce it, will spend the rest of his days in a federal prison for killing a teacher on his staff who was pregnant with his daughter. The U.S. District Court Judge Ronnie L. White, the judge's name was Ron White. I wonder if he's funny like Ron White. Ronald L. White of the Eastern District of Missouri on Tuesday ordered Cornelius M. Green to serve 2 consecutive life sentences for the 2016 murders of 30-year-old Jocelyn Peters and her unborn child. I love the fact that he's charged with 2 murders. Because in some places, that wouldn't be the case. He would be charged with 1 murder, but he killed her while she was pregnant with an unborn child, an unborn human baby. So that is another murder. Thank you very much, Missouri. Green, who was married at the time, previously admitted to hiring his friend to kill Peters, who was 7 months pregnant at the time. 7 months is so far. Like, that's a viable child at that point, I think. I don't know exactly. I think 7 months is far enough along where children have survived. Let me know in the chat. You know, I know a lot of things. I'm smart about a lot of things. That's not one of them. It's been a long time since I've looked into it. Just put it that way. Using funds stolen from the school where he and the victim worked. He pled guilty in February to 1 count each of conspiracy to commit murder for hire and murder for hire. The friend who pulled the trigger for $2,500. I said 1,000 because 2,500 seems like a crazy amount to pay to have 2 people killed. Like, who would do that for that small amount of money? A friend who pulled the trigger for $2,500, Philip Coulter, was found guilty of the same charges and similarly sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of life in prison by White, who called the crime the most heinous he had seen in his career on the bench. Prosecutors said Green had been lying to Peters about his marriage situation and had convinced her that he was amid a divorce. And Peters was the only woman in his life. But the evidence showed Peters was one of several women Green was seeing, and he turned to murder after failing to slip Peter abortion pills without her knowledge. Also should be considered a murder, by the way. If a man or anybody, it doesn't have to be a man, but if you're pregnant and somebody puts an abortion pill, like poisons your baby with an abortion pill, that should be a murder conviction, in my opinion. I see you over there, Quest. I'll get you in 1 second. Tell me if you agree with me. If a person slips an abortion pill into a pregnant woman's food or drink or whatever, should that be considered a first-degree murder? He planned it out. He ordered the abortion pills. It's obviously premeditated. And a human embryo or fetus dies. Should that be considered murder? People are allowed to disagree with me. I feel very strongly about it, but you guys can disagree with me. That's fine. Peters did not know about the multiple other women, including at least one who was also being duped by Green into believing they were building a life together. Federal prosecutors wrote in a news release, she also did not know that Green was researching ways to secretly poison Michael Lee by crushing pills and hiding them in her oatmeal or yogurt. When that plan failed, Green contracted his longtime friend Cutler, who stole money from the dance team's fundraiser at the school where he worked. Several people took the opportunity to address the court during Tuesday's sentencing hearing. Peter's mother said Green was supposed to be a protector to her daughter, but instead became her executioner. All she ever did was love him. This story is very sad. Adding that Peters loved that baby so much. Nicole Conaway, the principal of Mann Elementary, when Peters worked there, emphasized how he paid for the hit on his girlfriend by taking money from his own students. He literally stole money from children to pay for killing his own child. Conway also said that she was the one who had to tell Peter's students about the murder. Oh my goodness, she had to tell the students about it. I didn't even think of that. Holy cow. Was this an elementary? It was an elementary school. How do you tell elementary age students that their principal murdered their teacher? That's crazy. That's going to scar a bunch of kids for life. I hope they got some sort. I'm hoping the next paragraph goes into how they got some sort of psychiatrist or something into this school to talk to these kids. According to the court documents, Green sent Cutler a text message on February 29th, 2016, asking him to come from Oklahoma to Missouri at the end of March. Cutler responded, okay, that'll work. Going to be sending that. I don't know what he was trying to go for here. It's so horribly misspelled that I don't even know what word he was trying to say there. Okay, that will work. Going to be sending the page? I'm not sure. Green on, this is the word I'm looking at right here. I'm not sure exactly. I wish whoever wrote this article, yes, you did the little thing where it says it's misspelled, but tell me what he was going for. Green on March 7th, 2016 sent a UPS package containing $2,500 in it, according to, I'm putting these dog treats in front of me so I don't forget about Quest Fanning giving me a donation while I was reading. Sent a UPS package containing $2,500 in cash to Cutler. Records further state that Green used the address of the middle school as the return address for the package containing the cash, which Green had taken from the school. Cutler came to St. Louis on March 21st and began staying at the residence where Green lived with his sister, authorities said. The following day, Green took an Amtrak to Chicago and left Cutler with his car and the keys to the Peters apartment. Prosecutors said Green only traveled to Chicago to establish an alibi for the murder of Peters and their unborn child. 2 days later, on March 24th, Cutler drove Green's car to Peters' apartment on the 4200 block of West Pine Boulevard in St. Louis. He used the keys provided by Green to unlawfully enter her home, found her in her bed, and shot her with a .38 caliber firearm to the head, using a potato as a silencer to muffle the sound of the shot. Green had Peters buy potatoes days before her own murder. he sent her to the store for potatoes. This is getting worse and worse. Green then purchased an Amtrak ticket back to St. Louis so there would be verification that he was in Chicago at the time of the murder. When Green got back to St. Louis, he repeatedly asked Peter's mother to check in on her. Oh my gosh, what an evil man. He wanted her mother to find her shot in the head. Knowing what she would find, prosecutors said. The depravity of asking her mother to go find Jocelyn's body, knowing she was dead, cannot be matched. Assistant U.S. Attorney Tiffany Becker said on Tuesday. That story was horrific. Holy cannoli. Let me scroll back up here. Thank you very much, Quest Fanning, for sending a super chat in. Ooh, that was a while ago. There we go. But many of those places, the baby isn't considered a human life. Yes, exactly. That's the crazy part. I don't understand. I don't understand how they can they can charge somebody with a double murder if they murder a pregnant woman, yet it's okay for the mother to murder the baby. It's insane to me. Anyway, we got new treats today. We found out that Ava, who's downstairs, she's not here right now, but she's allergic to chicken. And one of the ingredients in milk bones is, in fact, chicken. So we have many, many milk bones that were sent to us that if anybody has a small dog and needs some little tiny mini milk bones, let me know. Send me your address. I'll get them out to you. Hey, Zena. Quest Fanning loves you. I know him again. I can't believe it. He's great, isn't he? Will you sit up maybe? Could you sit up? No. All right. Do you want this? Oh, there she goes. That's from Quest. Thank you very much, Quest Fanning. I appreciate it. Those look yummy. Well, I haven't tried them. These are Merrick Power Bites. Soft, chewy dog treats. I mean, I'll eat one for $500. I'll let you know how they taste. I think the last time I did that, it was for like 150 or 200. So I got to up my price. Plus, these smell like dog treats. The milk bone ones don't really smell like anything. They don't really taste like anything either, really. Okay. Next story. Thank you. Cool Clearwater says, I'm not supposed to be able to understand that. It's incomprehensible, honestly. Let me go to, let's do this. I need a break from reading. I have to put a video up for a minute. This says Indianapolis police shoot man who pointed gun at officer. Okay, let's find out what happens.
What's going on? There's a guy outside the facility waving a gun at people, saying that he's a felon and claiming that he will shoot people.
There's an intruder. He's a black male with tattoos, about, probably 5'8", and he has a gun. He just put it in front of my face and cranked it up against a metal bar to let me know it's real. He's currently on my porch trying to, solicit electronics for sale, but he's kind of, babbling off crazy stuff.
You're fine. You know me. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't what I think it is. If I'm wrong, tell me, please. Bro, hands up! Stop. Hands up!
Really? My mic was muted. Yes, it was. You know what that means, don't you? I tried to talk to you guys with my mic muted. It's a very lucky day for Xena. All right, mic was muted. Xena gets another treat. Hey, Xena. Sorry. It's at least once an episode, isn't it? Once a live stream. Once a live stream. All right, here, ready, catch. She missed. And it went in my camera bag. There. Sorry about that. Basically, I was saying I stopped it because I recall seeing this video, not on air or whatever, but just whenever. And I skipped ahead to so I don't show the actual like dude dying.
Control, shots fired.
Shots fired, 604 East 38th Street.
What was that? Police action shooting. Alright.
Police action shooting, 604 East 38th Street.
He just dropped it.
38th Broadway.
Still one
Background.
We're up here.
Just need somebody to grab hands. We got some people.
I got hands. Is the scene safe for Maddie? On me.
Yep.
Where's the gun? Over here.
Paper.
All right, so that was that one. Next article. That was kind of gruesome, but he did like. Could you imagine looking out your front window and there's just some dude with a gun or a knife? I'm not sure what he had. I was very distracted with the muted mic and trying to pause it in time while I was petting Xena. It was a whole thing. But could you imagine just peering out your front curtains and there's just some rando like chilling on your front porch? I would be so freaked out. I would call the police too. Well, I would call my husband first, but then I would call the police too. I have a gun too. New neighbor crashes U-Haul into balcony, fatally shoots complaining resident in the eye and neck and chest, police say. All right. I'm going to try to read again. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I have a little dyslexia. So when I try to read, sometimes it doesn't go well. I've been getting better with practice, but we're going to try it. So here's the dude. He's got really big ears. They're not even big. They just stick out from his head a long way. Christian Freeborn of Florida is charged with second-degree murder after police say he shot his 57-year-old would-be neighbor 5 times after the neighbor emerged from his home to find Freeborn's U-Haul truck crashed into his balcony. Freeborn has pled not guilty. The shooting occurred in May in Lithia, Florida, and the Hillsborough County Sheriff arrest records show that Freeborn, age 28, was arrested on June 21st. No bond was set, and he remains booked in the Falkenberg Road jail. The arrest records indicate Freeborn is a supervisor for the National Home Construction and Real Estate Company. State prosecutors say Freeborn shot Herbert Harris outside his home, once in the eye and twice in the neck. Harris was shot in his leg and his upper chest as well. So both of them they shot each other, it sounds like. It sounds like there was like a gunfight at the OK Canal or Corral, but in Florida in some backyard. Police say that Freeborn told them it was self-defense prompted by Harris coming out of his house, surveying the damage and telling Freeborn he would have to pay for it. According to a motion from the prosecutors seeking his detention. What is this? Okay. The defendant advised he would. However, the victim continued to be upset and argue with him. So he sternly told the victim to go back inside. The victim responded by saying, "Make me," and squared up and took a step forward at the defendant. It took a step towards him. The defendant advised that he took a step back and told the victim, "Please don't do this. I have a firearm. I have a concealed weapon permit. I don't want to do this." The defendant advised the victim by saying, "I have a gun too," and took a step towards him. The defendant advised he did not see a firearm on the victim's person and did not know what the victim meant. He had a gun on him or inside his home. The defendant advised he backed up a second time and told the victim, "Please don't do this." The victim stepped towards him again, and they stood face to face for several seconds before the defendant advised the victim came forward. Freeborn claims Harris next came at him with his arms raised in a bear hug-like motion, and that's when Freeborn said he opened fire. He died at the scene. Court records show that Harris was home with his girlfriend when Freeborn is accused of hitting the house with his moving truck. The girlfriend told police she heard a loud crash, peered outside of a window, and saw that the moving truck had collided with their balcony, and the truck was now in a neighbor's parking spot. His girlfriend said the couple went outside to inspect the crash and saw Freeman with his juvenile brother. The fatal argument ensued. She told the police after the shooting that at one point Freeborn flashed a gun in his waistband at them. Freeborn claims the whole episode with the U-Haul was an accident, and Harris wouldn't calm down after the initial jarring interaction. Though the 28-year-old told police he was acting in self-defense, sheriffs reported after the shooting that Freeborn said he did not see a gun on Harris, but Harris told him he had one. Whether Harris's gun was inside his home or concealed somewhere on his person, it was unclear. Freeborn allegedly said. He also told police he was concerned a previous wrist injury and rotator cuff injury from jiu-jitsu training, as well as the size disparity between himself and the larger Harris, would lead to the victim taking his firearm. However, he never advised that he was in fear of his life due to the victim's actions. Well, I mean, he did say the guy took a step towards him in a bear hug-like motion. I don't know. Freeborn's teenage brother, who rode in the moving truck with him, told police he did not see what happened during the shooting, but only heard his elder brother tell Harris to go back inside his house. Then the 13-year-old boy allegedly got back into the truck at his brother's command and waited for several seconds before he heard 4 gunshots ring out. A neighbor also told police they heard loud talking outside before 4 to 5 gunshots. The witnesses told police they looked outside, saw the defendant standing in the center of the roadway with his arms outstretched, pointing towards the driveways. The witness could not see a firearm. However, they told police they believed he had one based on the way he was standing. The public motion to set bond filed by his attorney notes that Freeman has no prior criminal record, has worked as a construction manager for 3 years, and he was the father of a 1-year-old child, and his wife is 7 months pregnant. His attorney did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Oh my, that's a complicated one. I'm going to have to follow this one. I don't know who sent me this one, but thank you, whoever sent it to me. That's interesting. That's an interesting self-defense case. Ron, thank you very much for sending a super chat. I appreciate that. Zena appreciates it, obviously. $2 from my girls to yours. Zena's gonna get, man, Zena's getting lucky today. Maybe I'll talk with my mic muted some more and she'll get really lucky. All right, can you catch this time? You want to try? No, she missed. She missed it. And she's a little older now, so she doesn't even want to get up to get it. I'll get it for you. Where did it go? Oh. I have my camera bag right here. Just open. Let me hide that. Just open. And they keep landing inside the camera bag. We'll shut that. We'll just shut that. Here you go. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. That's what I get for just having my camera bag open on my floor. The milk, or they're not milk bones anymore. Whatever these power bites are, keep landing in there. Okay, we'll do this one next. Linwood police want help identifying thrift shop thief who stole teens' savings. Oh, man. What a piece of work.
From Bella's voice shows a woman come into the store on Monday afternoon. Within seconds, she spots a black fanny pack sitting on a brown dresser. She picks it up, sets it down, and unzips it. Then realizes there's money in it. She looks around and finally walks off with the bag.
Rather than say, "Excuse me, does this belong to anybody? I found somebody's money here," she chose to steal it.
Yvette Hoffman, one of the founders of Bella's Voice, says the woman stayed in the store for about a minute and a half before leaving with a fanny pack full of money. The money belongs to this family, who had just used some of it to buy a couch. They continued moving their furniture, but quickly realized they didn't have the black fanny pack. Video pulled up by an employee shows the family what happened just minutes before.
Heartbreak. It was awful. Their son had saved this money for over a year to buy his family new furniture. And that was the money that they used to purchase the couch.
Bella's Voice employees called Linwood Police. The department is now asking the community to identify the woman. Hoffman says the reason the teenager purchased the couch makes the situation sadder.
I asked them that.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Could you imagine being a teenager and your family's doing so poorly that you have nowhere to sit, and you decide to, because you're a teenager, you can work now. I'm going to save up my money and buy furniture for my family. You know what I was saving up money for when I was a teenager? Doc Marten boots, not furniture for my family. Like, that just makes it a lot sadder.
The room for this couch, it was a large sectional. And the father told me that, yeah, they have plenty of room, that right now their son's sleeping on the couch, and it's a small couch. So he'll be so much more comfortable on this large couch.
Hoffman has this message for the woman in the video.
Shame on you. Shame on you for taking someone's money.
Hoffman tells me the family is thinking about starting a GoFundMe, and if that happens, they're going to donate. As of right now, police have not identified the woman. In Linwood, Cornelius Hawker, King.
I hope they catch that lady. That's a horrible story. All right, let me close some of these tabs we already watched. Let's get some of these closed, because things tend to run smoother when I get stuff closed. All right, next story. Do you guys remember Susan Smith? Let me know before I switch it over. Well, I'll switch it over. But do you remember the story of Susan Smith? It was nationwide news at the time. I did not live in the Southeast at the time. I don't think. Maybe, when did this happen? I think that I was 1994. So yeah, I was in high school in 1994. I did not live in the Southeast, but I knew about this story. So I'm wondering if you know about this story. Let me tell you a little bit about Susan Smith, and then I'll tell you what's going on with her. And let me know if you want a deep dive on Susan Smith. I'll write it up on my whiteboard, and we'll get to it sometime, maybe in the future. Susan Smith. I'm trying to dig through the files in my brain right now. This is Katie Z calculating, like, like, think about like the old internet dial-up sound. That's what's happening in my brain right now. Susan Smith was a mom of 2 young boys. I want to say one of them was like 1 year old and one of them was like 3 years old, something like that. This is from my brain, so don't take any of this as fact. But this is the gist of it. She didn't like her husband. She wanted to have this other boyfriend, right? And she had her boyfriend was rich, was like his dad was the owner of a factory or something like that. So he had money. And the boyfriend broke up with her. And one of the reasons, not all of the reasons, one of the reasons was that he could not see himself being a father to her children. Like he did, not that he didn't like kids or didn't want kids or whatever, but at whatever age I think she was like 25 or something like that, 23, 25, somewhere in there. Could not see himself stepping into the father role for her already 2 children, 2 sons. So what she does is she goes out for a drive one night, like the day of or the day after she gets this letter from this boyfriend saying, I'm breaking up with you because you're like all of these things. Like she was a narcissist and she was kind of slutty and he didn't like that she flirted with everybody. And also she had kids. So it was one of many reasons. Like she didn't worry about those other reasons. She worried about the one thing that stuck with her was that he didn't want kids. So she takes her kid, straps him in the back of her Mazda or whatever it was. If I'm getting any of these facts right, I'm going to be amazed. But so she straps in the back of her car and drives her car to the nearby lake, parks it at the top of a boat ramp, takes the brake off, and lets it go into the lake. She didn't kill the kids first. They drowned in that car. Could you imagine the fear going through these kids' brains, right? Then, she's got to have a reason what happened to her kids. So she says that she was at a stoplight, and this is like a small town in one of the Carolinas, probably South Carolina. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on a lot of this stuff. But she decides that she's going to make up this story about how she was at a stoplight in this small town in one of the Carolinas, and a black guy comes up to her car, makes her get out of the car, and then takes off with her car. She runs up to a house and knocks on the door. Bam, bam, bam. Dude's inside, some old dude. He's like, I need you to call the police. Somebody just carjacked my car and my kids were in there. And describes this guy as a black guy, but has no other distinctive features other than that. So it really could have been anybody, like nothing to narrow it down. So that's who Susan Smith is. Hopefully I did okay with that. Killer mom Susan Smith is preparing to get out of prison. What? When I saw this headline, I'm like, are you flipping serious? It was like weeks that these kids were missing. And she kept getting on TV saying, oh, please find my babies for me. Oh, I can't believe the big bad black man kidnapped my babies. Crying, alligator tears, the whole thing for weeks. And it was on national news. I think Adam Walsh's dad, what's his name? John Walsh did an episode of the Most Wanted thing about Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know, but it was everywhere when this happened. It was everywhere. Oh, good. We have an ad loading. Perfect. Susan Smith thinks she served enough time in prison for the 1994 murder of her 2 young sons. A case that shocked the nation and made her a household name. Is there sound? That's just music. All right, I'll let that play while I read. If you guys want to read along, that's fine. Her first parole hearing for her life sentence is November 4th. So it's coming up here in a few months. Oh, I should get that episode prepared for November, if that's when her parole hearing is, right? Hold on. I got to do this while I'm thinking of it, because I've found myself having great ideas and not writing them down. And then, you know what happens? They never happen. Susan Smith. November. Save. Done. We're going to get it done. We're going to do a deep dive on this one. Her first parole hearing is for her life sentence is November 4th, and she's spent the past few months convinced that she should be getting out, family members said. As a result, she's hard at work finding sugar daddies willing to bankroll her life outside. The 52-year-old inmate is not above engaging in a little phone sex to lure them in, according to family sources. And South Carolina. Did I say, when I said it's one of the Carolinas, did I say South Carolina? Did I? Who remembers? I don't remember which one I settled on. I think I might have got that right. South Carolina prison call recordings reviewed by the Post. It's time for me to get out, she told one suitor earlier this year in one call. I've done my time. I'm ready to go. In March, checking back to see if I got that right. You guys don't remember either, do you? In March, a conversation with one suitor, she asked him how she can support herself when she gets out. He told her that he has a large nest egg waiting for her if she's paroled. These people are sick. It's just like, I'm interrupting myself now. I'm interrupting everybody, including myself. It's just like these women who are sending like sexy letters to Chris Watts. There's men out there wanting to date Susan Smith. Are you insane? This is crazy. This is cuckoo birds. A combination of funds from the sale of her family property, gifts from admirers, and money he has saved up. I'll tell you what I did last night, thinking of you, the caller told Smith. I made a spreadsheet that starts out with $213,000. You're going to have more than that, I think. You'll be in the 220 range. $220,000 range, all put together. The man continued. You can spend $40,000 a year while you're withdrawing from that balance. It will still be earning interest on the undrawn amount. In 20 years' time, you'll have spent most of that, he said. But you'll have some of it left over. This man is just going to give her $220,000. Wow. Wow. After a short pause, Smith sighed. I love you so much, she said. I love you too, he replied. Before they began making kissing noises at each other. Oh, man. You remember what I said about her kids being strapped into their car seats when she let it go into that pond? Strapped in. No chance. And I want to say they were 1 and 3. Or maybe 2 and 3. 2 and 4. They were little kids. They couldn't get out of the car seats. Let's just put it that way. This is tough. This is a tough read. This is a tough read, guys. I'm going to have you on the front seat of my car, the man said, after speculating what she'd look like in a wet t-shirt. I can't read this. Hold on. I'm going to skip some of this. This is gross. Oh, here's the lake, by the way. There's her kids. And there's the lake that she just let the car go into. Look at them. Look at these babies. Let me just peruse this conversation before I read any more of it. All right, but this man is not alone. Smith has carried on sexual and romantic conversations with at least a dozen men in the past 3 years, according to prison calls and recordings. which are public under South Carolina law. Interesting. I didn't know that. In another conversation with a different man late last year, she speculated how she would wake him up in the morning. I can't. The reality is that Smith is unlikely to be paroled on her first attempt, or possibly ever, according to experts. Smith was a 22-year-old mom when she let her car roll into the John D. Long Lake in Union County, South Carolina, with her sons, 3-year-old Michael and 14-month-old Alexander, still strapped in their car seats. She stood on the side of the lake as the vehicle sank to the bottom, drowning both boys. Smith then falsely told police that a black man had carjacked her and kidnapped the boys, leading to a manhunt where authorities went door to door among local neighborhoods that were predominantly African American. Smith and her then husband David appeared on national news pleading for the boys' safe return. 9 days later, Smith finally confessed that there was no carjacker and that she had driven the boys to the lake. Her alleged motive? She was having an affair with a wealthy man who didn't want children. She was convicted of murder, but spared the death penalty, instead given life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. David Smith, who has since remarried and welcomed 2 additional children to his family, plans to vehemently oppose her release. Good for David Smith. I plan to vehemently oppose her release as well. That hasn't stopped Smith from thinking that she's about to become a free woman again. She's figuring out her future, a family member told the Post. She's seeing who she can rely on and who is able to help her. The Post confirmed that Smith has expressed her intent to appear at the hearing. The South Carolina Department of Probation and Parole and Pardon Services has notified the victim's family of the upcoming hearing. Let's take a look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. I want to see what you guys think about what you guys think of the Susan Smith case. Ron says I was right so far. That's good. So did I tell the case right? Was that correct? Maybe I should put me up there and Zena at the bottom, huh? Number 2 says she would literally do anything for her daughters. How could you hurt your children, let alone murder them? Linda says that she's praying that she doesn't get released. She's not a changed person. No, it's definitely still dangerous, for sure. Yeah, that's a sign she needs more time. Yeah, she's looking for sugar daddies. That's definitely a sign she needs more time. Like the rest of her life. She killed 2. Let me put these. Oh, I don't have the screen share. I was going to put the kids' picture up on the screen while we're talking about them. Those poor babies. Yeah, mama, she's having these conversations on recorded prison phones, which apparently are public record in South Carolina. You learn something new every day. They don't have to worry about child support. Nope, they don't. That was a little dark, but we like a little gallows humor around here. It's fine. So we have Zena here for emotional support if the jokes get too dark. Right, Zena? Zena. There she is. That's true. How come she still has the last name Smith? I didn't even think of that. She does still have the last name Smith. I'm surprised she hasn't gotten that changed. I assume that's something you could do from prison, get your name changed. I mean, she got divorced while she was in prison. So, you know. Anyway, thank you very much. Linda said I told the story spot on. Thank you very much. I tried hard. That's all I can do. I am a tryhard, so it's what I do. I try hard. I think we saw that one already. Let's see what's up next. Man sentenced for murder exactly 1 year after a deadly DUI crash near Clovis, California. Let's see what this is about.
Thank you, Kevin. Justice today for the family of a man who died while cycling near Clovis last year. Action News reporter Gabe Ferris was in the Fresno County courtroom today as Jonathan Petty learned his sentence and as the family of Peter Benz recounted their tragic loss.
A year ago today, my husband left our house.
The widow of Peter Benz shared the pain she still feels from losing her husband as the man who killed him appeared in court to learn his fate. Lisa Benz asked us not to show her face as she spoke about the agony of waiting for answers the night Peter went for a bike ride and never returned.
Being frantic, I did not sleep that night. Trying to find him, driving his route, calling the hospitals. What I didn't know was he was already dead.
Lisa joined more than a dozen family members in court on Friday, committed to the pursuit of justice and keeping Peter's memory alive.
Peter was one of the most charismatic people you would ever want to meet. He had big dreams, he worked hard, and he loved life.
The impact statements come exactly 1 year after investigators say Jonathan Petty was driving drunk and struck Peter with his pickup truck. The tragedy happened on Herndon near Langley Avenue. CHP documents reveal Petty left the scene without stopping to help Peter or even calling 911. Prosecutors say he was well over the legal alcohol limit.
Found not with a telephone in his hand, but a beer.
Petty pleaded no contest to murder and leaving the scene. He was on probation for a previous DUI when the deadly crash happened. In court, the 27-year-old stood with his head down just feet away from Peter's family. Petty's attorney offered a short statement.
Remorse for his actions. He apologized for his conduct. I know no words that Mr. Petty can say.
Moments later, the judge handed down the maximum sentence, ordering Petty to serve 15 years to life in state prison. The court case is now closed, but a hole remains in the hearts of Peter's family.
No words to express how painful this loss is to me and my family.
The timing of all this hits especially hard for Peter's family. Not only was Friday 1 year since the crash, but Saturday marks what would have been his 5th wedding anniversary. Gabe Ferris, ABC 30, Action News.
5th wedding anniversary. That is sad. What happened? What's going on? All right, we have a couple more videos. One long one for the end, but here's another short. Man accused of murdering 2 North Texas gas station clerks.
2 convenience store clerks were murdered late last week, and police say one man is responsible for both of those.
Can I just say, I love this news reporter's voice. It's like raspy. It's like he commands attention. I like it. I like the raspy news report and the look on his face. He's very serious. All right, let's hear what he has to say.
2 convenience store clerks were murdered late last week, and police say one man is responsible for both of those. Police have their suspect. He's in the Dallas County Jail. Fox 4's Sean Rabb is at the jail this evening with the story. Sean.
And Steve, police in Dallas and Mesquite say 21-year-old Devontae Mathis is responsible for both of those clerks' killings. He is in custody here in the county jail. A murder robbery at this Dallas Fox gas station convenience store about 12:35 a.m. June 22nd took the life of 32-year-old Gopi Krishna Dasari, reportedly a husband and father. Reports say he'd been in this country only 8 months from India.
Early investigation was determined that a suspect entered a business, approached the counter, and shot the victim.
Dasari, the picture taken from an online fundraising site, died from his injuries. His murder, the second in as many days of a convenience store clerk working the night shift. The first, a murder robbery at the Family Stop Food Store number 1, the 1700 block of Bruton Road in Mesquite, June 20th, just before midnight. Mohammed Hussein, 60 years old, who was a Carrollton resident and store employee working night shift. In both incidents, the suspect fired multiple times soon as he entered the business, then took items from the stores. That suspect, now in jail, charged with capital murder and more.
He's got a tattoo of a heart on his cheek? Shouldn't those be teardrops for the store clerks he's been murdering along the way? He's got a little heart tattooed on his cheek. Isn't that cute?
Is 21-year-old
Devantia Mathis. Jeez, what a piece of work.
Devontae Mathis, who lives in the Waco Hillsboro area. Surveillance cameras gave Mesquite police a good view of the car he was in. That description put out to all patrol officers. An alert officer spotted the car Devontae Mathis was in about 12:55 or so Saturday morning, roughly 20 minutes after the murder robbery at that Dallas store on Lake June Road.
An officer observed the vehicle, got behind it, attempted to stop it. Vehicle pursuit ensued, which then led to a foot pursuit, and a suspect was taken into custody.
In Mesquite?
In Dallas.
Mathis connected to the Dallas murder by items in the vehicle he was driving. A woman saying she was his mother posted for prayers for her son on social media without sharing details behind her request.
It's sad that someone would choose this path in life, but unfortunately the only person that could have changed that was him.
Devontae Mathis, 21 years old, now under a $7.5 million bond. Police in both cities still looking to see if there are other crimes that might be tied to Mathis.
Yeah, that's horrible. All right. Ad time. And then I have a longer body cam video that somebody sent me. So I have a bunch of these longer videos stacking up. So I want to get through at least one of them per episode. Charities.com. Have you been there? Have you checked out the site? We have lots of new stuff on the site, by the way. We are our featured collection this month is for Patriot Jam, which is coming up on the 27th of July. So next weekend in Nashville. If you are in the Nashville area and want to come to the event, we are not releasing the address publicly, but if you want to come, it's $10 at the door. Message me. Go to Patriot Jam Official on Twitter, message them, and let them know you're from my show, and they will give you the address so you can come. It's a music festival. It's like an all-day thing. I think it starts at like 2 or something and goes till midnight. I don't know the exact times, but I'm doing the merch for it. So you can get your Patriot Jam merch to wear to the place if you want to. We have sweatshirts, stickers. I even made a candle. I don't think anybody's going to buy the candle, but you never know. There's long sleeve, there's short sleeve, there's tank tops, all of the things. Also new, of course, you can get my merchandise. You know that already. Charities.com. Obviously, you can get my merchandise there. You can also get Steven's merchandise there, Iggy Normus Jr., I should say. And new to the collection is the KFAR merch. You can get KFAR's merchandise at charities.com /collection/KFAR. And he has the coffee mug, 2 different designs, long sleeve, short sleeve, whatever you want over there. So head over to charities.com, buy some stuff. All of the t-shirts on my site, by the way, are those super soft. I have one of them on now. This is my Christ is King t-shirt. By the way, if you go to the Christ is King collection on charities.com, all of this merchandise, any money made from this merchandise goes directly to onemorechild.org, which is a Christ-based services that helps out struggling families, trafficked children, all sorts of good stuff. Check out, even if you don't want to buy anything, why not do a little donation to onemorechild.org? Why not? Give them $5. Why not? It helps out kids. You could do it. It's great. All right, that's the end of the ad. And cut. All right, this says, when good cops stand up to corrupt cops. Love to see it. I love to see it. Yeah, seriously, though, if you live near Nashville or, can get to Nashville for the night, the 27th, it's next Saturday. So definitely Claw says he lives 13 hours away. That might be a bit of a drive or whatever, right? But I'll be there. Frank will be. Is Frank? Yeah, I think Frank might be wrong's going to be there. I'm not sure if Frank's going to be there. I don't want to advertise that Frank's going to be there. Steven will be there. There's a lot of people there. I mean, really, all you need to know is that I'm going to be there. I'm doing all of the audio video stuff. Maybe not audio. I'm doing all of the video and photography, which is why my camera bag was out and open, by the way. I'm getting all of my equipment ready. But yeah, I'll be there. Let's hang out. Why not? It's like, we'll take over Patriot Jam and just have the first KTZ meetup. Yeah. Message Patriot Jam official or me. Let me know if you can make it. What did I say? Oh, when good cops stand up to corrupt cops. Let's see what this is about. This is new to me. I have not watched this yet. Somebody sent this to me.
You have no authority. You're not gonna tell me what to do, my.
Whoa, sorry about the language right off the bat. My apologies. I'm glad they beeped it.
Strange to see how often ego comes between the duty of a police officer and even forces them to turn on against their fellows. Today we'll be looking at 3 such instances where a cop turned against their fellow officers. On the 30th of January 2024, a Lexington police officer spotted a vehicle going way beyond the speed limit. He quickly initiated a traffic stop and pulled the guy over. However, as he reached out to him, he was surprised to find out who he was dealing with.
Hello.
I can't believe I did that. I knew I was muted too. I was just saying, you just walked in and I had just finished promoting Patriot Jam. Now that I spoke muted, I have to give Xena a treat. That's the new rule around here. It's gonna train me to stop talking while my dang mic is muted. Here we go, Xena. Mama did it again. I was just saying how good this merchandise looks. That's all. That's all. I don't even know. I said a lot of stuff. I don't even know what I said. Let's switch back to the body cam. Oh, I was saying that I told them to go to Patriot Jam Official on Twitter to message you there. I think you have a Facebook page too. I don't know. But you're the organizer of the event, so get with him. Message me. I can get you in touch. And yeah, that's it. We're going to go back to these when good cops stand up to corrupt cops video now.
Are you sure? I'm going to SWAT call out.
Okay, so this polio, could you do an E5 and a 55?
I was going.
Going where?
Call out.
Where we going?
The SWAT call out right over here.
I didn't know we had one.
We have an armed guy barricaded in the house. Used to be a police officer. And
where at?
Right down here on.
Here in Lexington?
Yeah.
We have an armed person we don't know about.
The individual caught speeding was a Cleveland County sheriff, Chris Amazon, who was hurrying to a SWAT call. Surprisingly, the Lexington Police Department were unaware of this situation. That's when the officer went over to contact the police chief, inquiring about the situation.
I'll call our chief and let him know. 301 next. According to the Cleveland County Sheriff, we have a hostage situation at that location.
Moments later, the Lexington police chief, Ronnie Johnson himself, appeared on the scene as he seemed visibly upset for being kept unaware of the incident. Soon, he was about to let out his anger.
Captain Tom? Captain Hawk?
Yeah.
Where's come here? Excuse me, sir. What's going on here?
We realized that I'd like to know what's going on in my own city.
We would have notified you, sir.
We would have?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I've been at the city.
Look at this man with the cowboy hat. Look at him walking up to the sheriff with his chest all puffed out. Am I muted again? No, I'm not. Thank goodness. He's not happy, guys. He's not happy at all.
Down there at the PD all day. According to the call, it says Lexington was notified. They refused to respond according to our call.
Sit down here, guys.
Okay, I don't know who the said that. First of all, sir, I know you're the chief. I'm just telling you the call. I don't appreciate all of this going on and nobody notified me thing about it.
Okay. I'm sorry, what's your name?
As the chief vented out his frustration, Deputy Szymanski attempted to interject, which the officers didn't like and went over to confront him.
Sir. I am too. You're not going to talk about chief like that, sir. That's not going to happen.
You can get the out of my face. I don't give a who you are. Okay? This is my county, too.
Back up, man. Back up. No, you don't.
Oh, wow. This is like a pissing match between departments. Everybody, you don't talk to my chief like that. No, you don't. My dad can beat up your dad, is what I'm saying. There's another cowboy hat in the scene, by the way. Or is that the same one? I'm not sure. But this video, whoever sent this to me, thank you so much. This is amazing.
Be good. According to the call,
you need to stop.
Lexington PD was notified.
Chill out, back up, everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up.
I get it that you're
You can back up. Negative.
Deputy Szymanski didn't hold back and had no respect for his compatriots. He then proceeded to do something which escalated the already tense situation.
This right here ain't what
We're not going to be disrespectful. Okay? Sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir. You have no authority.
You're not gonna tell me what to do, my. You're not gonna get in my sheriff's face, just like you told me.
Your hands off me, man.
They're literally breaking up fist fights between each other. The police and sheriffs are breaking up fist fights between the police and sheriffs at this point.
Pull him back. No, he's in the sheriff's face. He said the same.
Go to jail.
Stop.
He's getting ready to go to jail.
Stop.
Both of you need to back off. This is our operation. This is our county. Understand?
Oh yeah. Perfectly clear.
Go to name.
Perfectly clear. Come on. Let's run that.
I want that lieutenant's name so I can put his hands on me.
Following the altercation, Chief Johnson and the officer decided to depart the scene, leaving the incident to the sheriff's department. Johnson later came on media to assert that this wasn't the first instance the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office kept them out of the loop. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office also took notice of the sad incident and released a statement where they expressed remorse over the incident and also attempted to provide a context for the actions of their deputy. We can only hope for an honest investigation, but given that the investigation is being held within the department, our expectations for a positive and just outcome are limited. However, this wasn't the first time there was a dispute between police officers and sheriff deputies, as this one inside a jail was even more intense.
Oh, this is a compilation video. We have more than one incident. This is amazing. This is what we need on Crimeland episodes. Cops fighting amongst each other. This is what we need. I always say there's good cops and bad cops. It's great when we can get them all in the same video, right?
Supervisors can. I understand. I get that. So I can get the out the way.
On July 16th, 2022,
Do all cops have potty mouths like that? This is the second one, and we've had more beeps from potty mouth cops than I can even count at this point.
several Columbus police officers.
Oh, special hello to Cowboy Criminology. Hello, welcome. Go subscribe to his channel, by the way. If one of my mods can put his link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. He's coming on this show right here on August 4th, which is not next week. It's a week after next. Ooh, that means I'm going to have to push back. Okay, so we'll do the Olympic bombing on the 8th because I've already scheduled Mr. Criminology to come on the 4th, and we're going to talk about a thing called frogging. It's with a PH. Very interesting, by the way. If you don't know about it, definitely look into that. But we're going to cover a case about frogging. All right, back to the video.
Arrived at the Muskogee County Jail with their detainees, only to find out that they were not welcome inside. A day ago, the jail run by the Sheriff's County office decided to change the first come first serve policy and instead decided to book deputies prisoners, then state troopers, and then the police officers. The officers, however, without any prior knowledge of this fact, were left stranded outside the building.
Hey, Snipes, they're still denying us. God bless America. They won't let us in.
They won't let y'all in. They won't let me in.
Hmm?
Ain't that right?
No, you go in there before us, I'm gonna raise hell.
Watch this.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna file a complaint, a legitimate complaint.
That might look good. A mean bun, go at home. Boom. Out of there. Central. SB 1, please.
Lieutenant Ness are about to get a complaint. 100%. That is the most unprofessional thing I've.
To be clear, I will not be in Paris in the next 2 weeks. So I'm talking about the one that happened in 1996. Also, number 2 just linked Cowboy Criminology's channel in the chat. I like his channel a lot, and he does not have, like, it's a criminal how few views he gets on his videos because they're very good. I like them a lot.
Ever seen in my life.
Hey.
As a sheriff's deputy arrived on the spot, he straight away cut the line and went inside. The officers, who were already pretty tense, were agitated seeing this behavior, prompting another deputy to come out and explain everything.
Wait a minute.
Oh, don't yell it. Don't start yelling. Hey, come on.
All right, I'm gonna file a complaint.
That's fine. That's fine. Good. How are you? Tell y'all have directives. I have directives. Sheriff says ain't nobody coming in, only 5 at a time. SO and GSP has priority.
So, SO has priority,
And
even
GSP
though.
and then you guys. I mean, this is beyond my control. I don't have anything, so don't yell at me. All right. All right. As soon as that last one gets cleared, I'm going to bring in 5.
Hey, yeah, unless another SO unit shows up.
This is not my decision.
Every officer from the Columbus Police Department was extremely upset on this behavior, and they also made sure to let their feelings known.
Because I'm about to have a stroke.
Guess what? You want to
This is a failure of justice.
And the jail does not like us, so we have 5 people sitting here outside waiting. It's wonderful. The sheriff is very pissed with us, okay? And he runs the jail, so.
Amidst this, one of the officers parked his car in a manner that blocked the deputy's vehicle, who had cut them off earlier.
Ooh.
Now, this behavior was set to trigger the sheriff deputy, who was extremely flustered.
Well, he was obviously flustered, which is why he parked his car there. If you're taking inmates in, not in the order they arrive, but by what department they were brought in by, that's a problem. That's a problem because that means the local police, who are last on that hierarchy, apparently, or like the city police, could be sitting there all night if more deputies arrive or more sheriffs arrive with prisoners. They could just be sitting there all night, which means nobody's doing the job that they're supposed to be doing out on the street. So I'm pretty sure that the reason he parked his car there is because he was flustered or frustrated.
Them goddamn supervisors can.
I understand. I get that.
So I can get the out the way. All right, so I got a call to go to. I can't go to the call because y'all want to play stupid ass childish game.
At this point, tensions were escalating as one of the officers even went ahead to grab his weapon. Deputy Adkins, on the other hand, was still trying to get the vehicle away so he could get out of the jail premises.
I'm gonna go get my stuff because this is getting stupid. I'm not gonna be de-armed outside of the jail.
You need to get up here. Somebody get this goddamn car so I can get out. They want to play games. Y'all ain't letting them in, so they don't want to let me out. I hope I don't see you get your ass whooped on the street because I'm gonna drive the by and you can tell your goddamn supervisor and everybody else I sit there. Yeah, that's what I'm here. Do it. I'll see you in the car because I got a goddamn car to go to. You don't want to move the goddamn car. Huh? Yeah. Don't stop for me. Don't stop for me. You know who?
As the Columbus police officers refused to move the car aside, the sheriff's deputies had to contact their chief in an attempt to find a resolution.
I don't know, but I'm probably gonna quit. This is so stupid.
Back it up so we don't have to bring
They're going to get so frustrated that you're just going to start letting the criminals go. Like, oh, it's you're getting picked up because you didn't show up to court for a traffic ticket. I'm not waiting here for that. Go back to whatever you were doing. Goodbye. Like, what kind of policy is this? This is crazy. This is nuts. I don't blame the ones who are getting pushed to the back of the line over and over. I don't blame them at all. They're just trying to do their job, man.
Listen, man, I'm only doing what my supervisor told me. I understand. This is ridiculous, and I hate that I'm dealing with this shit. But you're gonna have to talk to the sergeant over there.
No, I'll be talking to the chief. Hey, Chief, I'm sorry. We got a situation over here. We got CPD won't let our guys out, and they're about to go to blows. I'm asking your CPD officer to back up his car.
Same, Stephen. Same. That's why I love these videos. It's the chaos. I love the chaos.
And he's saying that his supervisor told him not to let it.
And again, no one on our side is threatening.
We're having a tit for tat over here. Hold on. Roll down your window.
The situation was starting to get heated up as more and more pressure was being put on the poor officer who had been assigned to block the deputy's car. Meanwhile, additional police calls were coming in, which they kept on ignoring.
We gotta stop playing these games. This is retarded.
Yes.
No truer words have ever been spoken. We need to stop playing these games. This is retarded. Absolutely, sir. This is retarded.
They're kind of at a standstill. Do I have anybody on Forest Road?
Meanwhile, the streets are burning down around them because all of the law enforcement in the whole county is trapped at this jail. All of them.
7511.
Literally, there's a burglary in progress. And that guy's going to get away. There's no cops. There's no cops to go take care of that. Because of whoever this sheriff is decided that his county sheriffs need to take priority over the city police. All of the different cities in that county who are trying to bring their prisoners to jail. Meanwhile, there's a burglary in progress. The guy could just be there all night, loading up his truck, coming back for a second trip. Who knows?
Sorry, we got it.
Headquarters, we're all standing on the wall of the jail.
What car is it? Hey, move your car, bro.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm get who your sergeant is. Hey, he's with the chief. Okay. Sorry, he's with the chief. Sorry. What's your name?
Got there and started rolling up and they shut it right before I got there.
Give me a second. I hear you.
What is it, Sally Moore? Yes, sir.
Go ahead and back it up. All right.
Just as it seemed the officer might cause the matter to end, the sergeant stormed out, refusing to reconcile with the sheriff's deputies.
Hey, Fairbanks, no. You stay right there, man.
Hey, sorry.
He started to move the car and his boss is like, no, put it back. Put your car back, sir. Put it back. Block them in. Put your car back.
Yeah, your sergeant over here tell him not to move. It is lawful.
This is at 11:15 at night too. By the way, when all the crime is happening.
Chief said he's not moving. We got to get somebody over here. We got to put this.
There's literally a train heist going on in the background. That's what you're hearing. There's guys riding up on horseback to steal the jewels from that train passing by. And there's no cops around to stop it. None.
This ain't respectful. Hey, they got my guy locked in. What I got to do with this shit? Like, I don't want to fight. Everybody in.
The situation was heating up, and a supervisor had to calm his deputies down as he moved them in. Maybe the police officers seemed to have overreacted. Well, this female officer clearly had a different perspective on the matter.
I try to get through, and they immediately halfway open it, shut it on me, and I hear through there's a deputy standing next to me on the radio. That female officer's trying to get into the door. Do not let her in that door. Do not let any officer through that door.
Well, I mean, whoever made that radio call was probably right. I don't know the whole situation. I'd have to hear both sides of that one, but yeah.
From PD.
From the jailer. The jailers are saying that through their radio. So they won't even let us through the door. There's one person inside there, and now they booked the sheriff guys out, and he's like screaming at us to move our vehicles. They won't even let any of our guys in. They won't book any of our guys. They won't even let us in to use the bathroom, nothing. Nothing.
I think this is where.
This is it.
This is as bad as it can get.
Like, we can't principle someone's crime, man.
It appeared that the jail, which came under the jurisdiction of the sheriff's office, might have gone against the police officers, as they were visibly upset by the treatment.
This guy's got a call, but then my sergeant's telling me not to move.
Right. I have this.
And then when I started backing up, he told me to stop again.
What about arrested all of them for not doing their job?
Right.
This is
crazy.
He's gonna start arresting them for not doing their job. What if I just start arresting all of them? What if I did that? What if I just start arresting all of them? Could you imagine if this is one of those county jails where they also keep federal prisoners? Because not all counties do that. I found out recently, but some counties do. They're set up to take federal inmates as well. Like, what if we had 3 levels instead of just city, county, city and county? What if we also had like the FBI showing up with prisoners? Do they go to the back of the line, or do they get priority? I'm not sure where they fall in the hierarchy. I say they should have to wait the longest, personally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the keys in there, dude. I really not wanting to be a part of to get charged with a crime, dude, for a stand, dude. I'm telling you right now, bro.
I'm transferring.
Possession Schedule 2, obstruction, and drug-related objects.
So far, it's all felons. All right, get in your cars, pull your people outside the gate.
They started releasing prisoners because they couldn't book them into the jail. Did I call that? I called that was going to happen. They're just going to start letting people out. I wasn't thinking possession schedule 2 and whatever else he said. I was thinking it would be like, if they were there because of a speeding ticket or something, like reckless driving or something. But yeah, they're just releasing prisoners back out on the street now because the sheriff cannot get his act together.
The officers stood and waited outside the jail for hours, but nothing seemed to work in their favor. Dejected by this behavior, they decided to take their prisoners to 6th Avenue.
Let me a damn court date and let me go to court.
All CPD prisoners at the jail, just see me out there in between the street, between the building of the SO and the CPD. We'll have our meeting there. Just have a seat. Watch your head, okay?
This is sad, man. They doing this shit.
Watch your legs, okay?
And also said he was going to ram the car, so.
Oh, yeah, he said he's going to run into the car.
So, I mean.
He's going to pass right by us if he ever sees us getting our ass beat on the street.
Did you guys hear what? Did you catch what she said? Did you catch what she said? She's going to pass right by if she ever sees him getting his ass beat on the street. This is not good for society. This right here, whatever's happening here is not good for society. Also, 1, 2, 3 women cop, 4. What are we doing here?
Rock bottom.
Stop recording right now.
Eventually, the police officers had to release their prisoners with a court summons, requiring the inmates to return to court later this month. It was indeed a sad incident to view, and what's even more troubling is the fact that during this encounter, a robbery was taking place, and none of the officers even attempted to reach there. Later, however, the sheriff and the Columbus police chief met and set aside their differences. The sheriff also released a statement claiming that their relations are still intact, and both of them have continued to work together to this day. Well, that was a tough off night, but what happens when a police officer is caught breaking the law by his superiors?
I can't go right this
You're going now.
Okay, well, what if I don't?
We gonna have a problem.
It all began on January 13th, 2021, when a distressed caller informed the Bossier City Police Department about a police unit being driven erratically. She also claimed that the driver almost hit the mailbox and swerved into the opposite lanes as well. Moments later, 2 supervisors from the police department contacted the driver.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. We all know this. The mailbox seemed unscathed.
And went over to talk to him in a grocery store parking lot.
I was a driver. Driving fine, they pulled a little bit to the right. Other than that, unless I drop something or whatever, hit the curb or whatever, or in the middle of the line, but you was all around the car if you like. That's on the phone down in the seat. And I'm reaching for it again. So you got off at 6 o'clock today? I did. I got 2 kids. Did you go straight to bed or what was the deal? No, I did. So you've been up since last night? I have.
The driver was found to be the off-duty police officer, Travis Coker. As one of the supervisors went over to search Coker's car, he discovered something suspicious.
Did Coker have coke in his car? Did he? He has something. There's something in his hand.
What is it? The Exotram? Or what called it? Yeah. They call it the business. So you take a
Ativan.
No, not today. No.
I don't know what that is.
Not a one. That Frank died. I gave that to him.
So you think you're good to go for driving?
Oh, 100%.
Look, ain't nobody trying to get a car.
No, I know. And that's why I had been asleep. I was trying to get everything arranged. Got home, got the kids on the school bus, met Betty, got all that situated, just trying to pick the house up. He needed his prescription. He can't walk. So I'm sitting there waiting for him.
Coker claimed to be completely okay and had not taken any meds that day. That's when the supervisor came back and proposed a simple test to him. But Coker appeared hesitant, signifying that he might be guilty.
This is the girl that now, Sonia, take you to
Sorry, I can't go there. I got a sick kid at home. I can't. That's why I'm trying to get back to you. I'm trying to get Betty's prescription. Can't even walk. I'll be glad to come up there just a little bit.
But I don't feel safe with you driving right now.
Okay, can I get somebody to come get me? I promise you, Lieutenant Captain, I am fine. If I hit something, it was dropping my phone. It ain't the sleep.
Well, listen to me. We're going to have to go this route, what I just told you.
Okay, I'm saying I can't do that right now.
You don't have no other choice. I'm telling you that right now.
Officer Coker wanted to dodge the drug test, and despite the supervisor's multiple requests, he remained intact.
All due respect, I get off. I have obligations to time. That's why I couldn't go.
Thank you very much, Erica, for renewing your membership of 9 months you've been around. Holy cannoli, that's a lot. We're going to give Xena a treat real quick. We're pausing this video of this doped up cop so we can give special attention to Miss Xena over here because, by the way, I know you weren't here before, but Xena's got new treats because Ava's allergic to chicken, apparently, we found out. So all of those milk bones we have, they're not really good anymore. They're good. They're fine. But I don't know what I'm going to do with all these mini milk bones I have. If anybody wants some mini milk bones, let me know. I will send them to you. Just email me. All of my contact information, like all of it, is in my channel description. If you guys want to contact me, you can get a hold of me. Don't call, though. Text, because I don't answer phone calls from phone numbers I don't recognize. Xena, this is from Erica. She loves you very much. She loves you very much. Here you go. Okay. I appreciate that, Erica. Let's get back to these cops. So I found out from my chat that Ativan is like Xanax or Valium. I had no idea.
But I'm making it work. But I have to get back on it.
We're not going to have a discussion. You're going to WK. You're going down.
Cap, I can't go right
You're
this
going down. have a problem.
What's the problem?
You probably administrative leave.
For what? Because I can't go right to sea because I'm on my off time.
Listen to me. You're operating.
I wasn't even driving.
Coker.
Captain, I love you.
Okay.
But you put me
So here's what's happening here. They want him to go get a drug test right now, but he's not on duty right now. So he's like, I'll go as soon as my next shift starts, which who knows when that is? It could be 2 days, you know. Who knows? But as far as I know, well, no, I think if it's like Valium or Xanax, I think that stays in your system for like a long time, like 2 weeks or something like that. So it would still be in his system if he took that. But if he's on something like cocaine, it's out of your system in like 3 days. So, you know, I don't know. He's on something. If he's not like, yes, absolutely take my blood right now, let's do a field sobriety test, whatever it is, he's on something. He did something he's not supposed to do.
You put me in a bad spot.
Captain, I'm in the only spot I can be in, man. I'm trying to take care of my family.
You're going to have to go with him, okay?
I can't go there right now, Captain.
Coker insisted that he wasn't ready for the test at that moment. However, he assured them that he'd return to the department after he paid a visit back home. But the officers weren't too pleased with his behavior.
If you was in your POV, and listen, I would be. Listen in the shop. If you was in your POV, we wouldn't be out here right now. I know that. But you in the city vehicle. Right. And it's her word again. She got some videotape. Listen to me.
This is not a court. This is an administrative deal.
I know that, but I'm just saying, anybody's out there, the police, like I said, if I drop my phone and run over the line, I'm not doubting that. Yes, sir. But I have to get to, give me 35 minutes. I'll come back and do whatever you want me to do.
Can't do that.
Okay, well, can I get somebody to come get me?
No, you gotta
come with us. If you refuse, you're not gonna have no choice but to put you on administrative. And what does that mean? That means that we have to take your gun, take your badge, and then we gotta go to the chief's office.
The supervisors even threatened to have him placed on leave if he failed to comply with them. Despite this threat, Coker remained adamant about returning home.
Are you gonna take the test, or you're not gonna take the test? I will take the test today. I just can't take it right this second.
So here's the deal, to make it perfectly clear. What he's explaining to you is that he and the captain are giving you an order, being in patrol administration, okay? You're under their command that you have to submit to reasonable suspicion testing for the department.
The reasonable suspicion?
This is not for debate. Listen to me.
I'm just saying, explain to me the
Coker,
reasonable suspicion.
you're arguing. Look.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Sergeant, don't worry about it. He's been policing long enough. This guy in Texas. If you don't understand what we're saying right now, you're not going to never understand what we're saying. Okay, so we just need to
One of the supervisors reached a breaking point as he was surprised to see the level of ignorance being shown by an officer.
I'm on the phone with the chief. He said, you got to go for reasonable suspicion. There's something. You got to go.
I can't go right in a second. Can you give me 30 minutes?
Honestly, if he would have just went the first time, he'd have been done by now. He's been arguing for 30 minutes. He's been arguing for at least that long. Mr. Cosa Del Mar over here. His little sunglass clippy on the back of his head.
And we're gonna make sure whatever your family needs are, we'll make sure those family needs are taken care of.
I have to take care of it. My mother died 2 weeks ago. I have a daddy that I didn't ask for this. Captain, I'm not trying to make your job hard. None of y'all's job hard. Y'all know me.
You're doing a good job making it hard, bro.
I mean, I'm not. I ain't making mine hard because I got nothing said I had to go home and go to sleep. Am I going to go to sleep? Yeah. But I had to think. That's the night thing. I told you. I'm juggling it the best I can. The very best I can. I go to work every day. I'm there at 10 o'clock. Are you going to submit to the testing or not? I will go to any test y'all want me to go to. Just give me just a little bit of time.
Can't do that.
I will drive a POV back there.
At this point, it was adamantly clear that Mr. Coker was just being dishonest as he was creating stuff, something which he continued to do so in the next few minutes.
Yeah, here we are. And you say you got family that you I do. I got family. I'm on my off day. Yeah, I understand that. You in our car. I am in your car. And
Oh, number 2 brings up a very good point. He has to go pick up clean pee. he's got clean pee stashed somewhere and knows where to get it. So he's got to go for 30 minutes, and that actually makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of, you would think that I would have thought of that. Not that I would know, but I would know. But from years ago, by the way, years like 20 years ago. But you would think that I would have thought of that. I leave it to number 2 to think of what's going on here. I'm like, why 30 minutes? What is 30 minutes going to do? I think she found the answer.
When y'all pulled up, but it's somebody that don't like the police, Captain. Is there something wrong with the car?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't. This is not a DWI.
Right, I know it's not.
Erica's actually asking some questions in the chat. So, Erica, I don't know anybody who's here that's new here. I was a heroin addict for many years, so I know a thing or two about a thing or two. But when you are an addict and you know that you will have drug tests to pass, sometimes you just, have a little clean pee laying around. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. When you know things are coming, sometimes you're prepared.
Your drop. You know you're not getting back in the car to drive. That's fine. I'm gonna get my stuff out of it. When? Right now.
Like, honestly, the whole time I worked at Walmart, I think I still was smoking marijuana the entire time, and there was random drug tests at that place all the time.
It's my stuff. I can believe I can get it. It's my personal stuff.
Take a chance of being terminated. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
But over what, Captain?
Because right now, the way you're acting, we're trying to do our job. We're trying to do something. You are being respectful.
I'm being as respectful as I can be.
Are you going, yes or no?
Captain, I have an obligation at home. I'm off. I'm not going right now. It's a yes or no answer. I'm not going right now. Okay. Can I get my personal stuff out of my car? I guarantee you we can look around and everybody's broke policy.
Okay.
They got body cameras on? No. That's against policy.
Okay.
Seeing the situation deteriorate and the supervisors not granting him any leverage, Mr. Coker started to get confrontational and even rude at times.
Listen, you don't understand, Coker. I got the keys to the car. I need that money. Yeah, Captain, we're gonna get my money. We're gonna get you the money. Nobody trying to keep your money from you. Nobody gonna keep your money. Well, why can't I get it now?
Step to the front, car.
You can get it from me. Stand in front of that.
Good, how are you?
Now I'm in trouble now.
No.
What I need to stand in front of the damn vehicle? Because I said so, that's why. Who are you to say so? You ain't no right to me today. At this point, I don't trust you. I don't care if you trust me or not. I don't want you near me. That's fine. I don't want you near me. How about that? I'm not under arrest. Can you grab my bucket of dip sitting out there under the seat?
There's no possible explanation as to why would Coker be so against the test, apart from the fact that he knew he was under the influence of a substance.
Y'all treat me like shit. Ain't mad at none of y'all.
We gotta treat you like anything, Coker. We had a complaint. We gotta see through it. But you're hindering us from doing what we gotta do.
Y'all really think that I'm gonna do? Come on, man. I've got none of my prescriptions out of the car that I have to take daily. I've told you. They've given you a direct order. You have to go submit to chemical testing. Why? Under what grounds? They don't have to have grounds. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Did I get pulled for a random? It doesn't matter. Then take it up with your attorney and civil service. I suggest you do. I've already read it. I know what it is.
Like, at this point, he'd be better just resigning on the side of the road and going on his way, and then getting a job at a different department. I'm not saying that I want this guy as a cop anywhere, but at this point, he needs to just say, you know what? I quit, and see what happens from there. Because if they don't take him in, if they don't arrest him at this point, then, and actually test him, then he will have resigned and will just go a county over and get a job.
However, the officers did settle with Mr. Coker as he was allowed to call someone to pick him up and eventually leave the area. Despite this, the heated altercation between the officers showed no signs of stopping.
You don't have to get escalated because the thing is you're OJ here, okay? And you might have some car, but you don't have one. Okay, and I'm just going to cut and drive. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, go ahead and tell me. Don't get too close. Then back up on me. I'm right here. Okay? I'm actually stand right there. Don't stand right there. I'm just saying, I don't want this thing to escalate. How's it going to escalate? You tell me. I don't want you to get too close to it. Let the captain. That's what I'm not. You tell me how it's going to escalate. I'm hoping it don't escalate. But what would it escalate into? I don't know. I'm just telling you. I'll let her know that it's going to escalate because I'm standing on the curb. I don't want it to escalate. Yeah, I know you don't.
Officer Coker put his entire career in jeopardy, but refused to go with the officers and give a simple test. It's strange how a law enforcement officer would disregard his job like this.
Best fucking police y'all got in this fucking city. I understand.
Do you realize one thing? If you would just stop for 1 second, just think. This whole time, while we sit up here going through everything that we've gone through, you not want to go.
It's not wanting to go. Captain, I go to space with you. You want me to? You know that. That I have no hard feelings towards anybody. I don't know what was said that I swerved. If I dropped my phone and swerved over to the side, I'm sorry. I'm forgiving that. I really am. I don't want any. I worked with every one of you. Especially you. I don't want any.
And I have no issue with you. Right. I don't, but I have.
You doing your job?
Yes,
I
have a job to do, and everything and all the sequence of events that have taken place today. Lord knows I hate it.
Meanwhile, Coker's ride came up, and that's when he decided to make it up with the officers involved. Nevertheless, it was still strange and disheartening to witness a police officer behaving like this towards his superiors. It raises the question that if that's how he is with them, how he would even behave with the general public.
So he leaves? They don't drug test him? What the? I wasn't expecting that ending.
Hey, you get to the station?
Yeah, go ahead, tell me. I already talked to somebody.
Coker left the area and he was immediately placed on administrative leave, and an internal investigation was launched into the case. After a few weeks, the investigation found Coker guilty and he was fired from his job. Well, that brings us to the end of our video. Today we got to witness—
Guilty of what? Did it say?
Coker guilty.
Naturally, when BCPD responded, they had no choice but to immediately launch an investigation on the scene to determine whether or not the officer in question was impaired. One of the officers who arrived on scene was none other than BCPD Captain Leander Matthew. The body cam footage itself lasts nearly 40 minutes and shows Coker being extremely belligerent to his superiors while refusing to take a mandatory test. Coker was placed on administrative leave after refusing to take the ride. He was terminated shortly after. So I guess they just decided that I don't know. I guess he just got fired and nothing else. One last short video and then we will be done for the day. This one says, Florida man. I love ending it with a Florida man story because of my outro song. I was going to say it is my outro song now. I've taken it over. You can basically say I wrote it and recorded it myself, but I didn't. Call me ignorant there in the chat did. So check out his music if you like the outro song right after this short story about a Florida man who waits 5 hours in Walgreens restroom before going on after hours junk food raid.
What time is it? What time is it?
He's locked in there.
But he did just grab a pack of smokes, so.
So right there?
Yeah. Is there anybody else in there?
I don't think so. I don't know. I came in to use the bathroom.
Well, you keep saying you came in to use the bathroom. It's not like cleaner. You just got a pack of cigarettes off the rack there. That's some candy bars that you just borrowed.
No, they can run from public.
They don't sell any of this in here?
Yeah, I saw he just grabbed those.
He's there 5 hours after the store. What time is 3 in the morning? So Walgreens closes at like 9. And he's there at 3 in the morning and can't figure out. By the way, the cops didn't lock that door. They pointed to where he could unlock it and walk out. He could have just walked out, but he couldn't. He wasn't smart enough to unlock the door. Anyway, guys, that's the show. That is the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. So next week is the 28th, and I will be in Nashville or somewhere in between here in Nashville, and I will definitely hit the live stream button on YouTube. It will be YouTube only next week, unless I happen to make it back here for some reason by 4:30, but I'm pretty sure we won't make it back here by 4:30. I'm not sure. We don't have a real solid plan, is what I'm saying. So I'm not sure, but we will definitely flip that start live stream button on Sunday at 4:30, and I will say something about something, and I'm not sure what it is. I'll probably tell you all about Patriot Jam because that will have happened, and I think I want to talk about some stuff that happened in Nashville. Like, do you guys remember a few years ago when that bomb went off on like Christmas in Nashville? Maybe I'll look into that and talk about that a little bit. Sometime between now and then I'll figure out stuff to say, but that always, I never really looked back into it after it happened. And I kind of want to dig into that a little bit and figure out what happened there. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that and other stuff. Of course, the week after that, we have Cowboy Criminology coming on to talk about a gentleman named Ezekiel Zayas. That's a tongue twister. Ezekiel Zayas, who was a guy who committed the crime of frogging with a PH in Hawaii. So that'll be a fun episode. The 8th, we're changing the board up there. The 8th, we're going to do the Olympic bombing case. Like I said, I'm reading this book. It's called, what is the name of the book? Between the Lines of Drift by Eric Rudolph. So I'm in the middle of reading this book written by the bomber of the Olympics in 1996. So once I finish this book, I can start on my notes for that case. And it's getting really interesting. This book is getting really interesting. Like I said, I'm about a quarter of the way through it, maybe a third of the way through it, and it's getting really interesting. So look forward to that one. I will see you guys next Sunday at 4:30 Eastern. Thanks everybody for coming. If you like this music I'm about to play on the outro, Iggy Normus in the chat, call me ignorant. That's his music. He made it. He wrote it. He made it. He recorded it. And check out his music links in the comments or whatever below the description. Bye.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you so loco? Show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies. Them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, I'm up at Goso. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Looking for new drills, needed a new track of land. I used to dig the Simpsons, man. Bumping Biggie, Pop, Smash Mouth, and Simple Plan. No scrubs for the crease in my pimples, damn. From the south streets of southeast Michigan, hitting shuffle till I settled on a different jam. And when a dime won't do, a better nickel can. And let me tell you when I used to dig them Simpsons, man. A funny thing about time, you can't get it back. A tight grip, but it rips the jacket. Slight lisp with a mix of traffic. You see about me, like Mr. Glass, always wished I was a whiz at graphics. Take me back to the past where the hits were massive. You could hear Gladys Knight and the Pips on plastic. Misfit molasses. Delete my contacts just so I can stick to glasses. Feel that skipped out, so I miss the classics. Aristotle of the bottle, Seneca of the sinful action, senator of the simple maxim. I swear for a skillful Saxon, I'm still relaxing. Who wanna take a dip in the mind sauce, making up for the time lost, forgetting all my past was when I sign off. Crime bribe, crime rib, Agent Smith, crime boss, popping red pills till my mind's off, mind's off.
First Florida man. Endo de Soto. First Florida man. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't your solo go? Show off your photos. Throw out your Twinkies. Throw up your ho-hos. Tuck in them pinkies. Them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, Iyama Fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Threw up that blue pill, moved to a new track. I slew the foothills of that voodoo sap. Micro beach tape decks, I'll sift through that, cause I'll do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Give me the news that make my mood react. I'll swim through the sewer just to make it to the truth intact. And you can shine up that voodoo with new shellac. I'll still do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Imagine thinking Karl Marx is new school Klingon like Huzu. They welcome the ways they can bring on the boots, dude. Declare a major, they get paid to pollute you. Self-ashamed neighbors never gaze when they scoop you. I wonder how we fight it. The 6th step is never enter in my tent uninvited. The 5th step is produce, no skills is no use. 4th step community preference is unity. 3rd step is nation, it's somewhat location, mostly relations, that's the situation. Next step family, patriarchal sanity. Safe under the canopy, ain't a place for anarchy. First step, I just got to say it, no showboat. Step back and soak up the logos.
First Florida man. Endo de Soto. First Florida man. Was Hernando de Soto. Won't you soak logos? Show off your photos. Throw out them Twinkies. Throw up your ho-hos. Tuck in them pinkies. Them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. By the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, Iyama Fagoso. Jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Hernando de Soto. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, Iyama Fagoso. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.